Welcome to the CCIE Routing and Switching Lab Exam Overview. In this brief demonstration, you will see examples of the new user interface and become more familiar with the new online lab delivery system that underlies CCIE Routing and Switching Lab Exam version 4.0. Understanding the lab delivery system and user interface should help improve your experience when attempting the exam. There are two sections to the CCIE Routing and Switching Lab Exam: troubleshooting and configuration. To begin with, log in with the username and password provided to you by the proctor. Once you have successfully logged into the system, you will see an introductory web page. Here you will find information concerning the troubleshooting section. Make sure that the information displayed pertains to you and not another candidate. Click the Start Lab button on the toolbar on the web page to begin the troubleshooting section of the exam. It is important to note that the troubleshooting section has a maximum time limit of 2 hours for every candidate. Other candidates may finish before or after you, depending on when they begin the section. The clock does not start until you click the Start Lab button. There is a countdown timer in the top right of the screen, and the session automatically closes all connections once the timer expires. The questions and diagrams presented here are not from an actual CCIE lab exam, but the interface is similar to what you can expect in your lab attempt. The centralized toolbar at the top of the web page provides access to all the information and tools you will need to complete this section. The clickable topology map, which appears in the main window, allows you to connect to the consoles of the devices. The questions and diagram menu offers the option to see only one single incident at a time in a separate pop-up, or all incidents listed one after the other in the same pop-up. This could be useful when you want to focus on a harder incident. However, it requires more user interactions to click the next button on the top right to browse through all the incidents. Therefore, the All Questions tab on the main toolbar allows you to view all the incidents and diagrams in one window. The Troubleshooting Guidelines tab provides important and necessary information about this section of the exam, such as what is and what is not allowed when resolving the incidents. For instance, in this example, you can see that points are awarded for fixing faults in the incidents. You're not allowed to change any routing protocol boundaries or erase any provided configuration unless it is part of the solution to an incident. The Manage Devices tab provides an interface to execute various tasks related to the devices in this section. It also displays the up-down state of each individual device. You can connect to the consoles of the devices, clear those console connections, power cycle a device, or even reload the configuration of a device to the initial state of the exam. It is important that you become familiar with the Manage Devices interface because it gives you the ability to interact directly with the devices as appropriate to assist in resolving any device and connection issues. The console link for a device will establish a connection to the command line interface of the device. In this example, a console connection to router R1 has been made. You are then able to issue Cisco iOS commands to view the state of the device or make configuration changes. Most usual iOS commands are available even though all devices are virtual. There are some different behaviors in default configurations compared to physical devices, but these differences are definitely taken into account when developing the questions so that the experience is as close to reality as possible. You do not need to open console connections to every device in the topology. Carefully read the question and view the associated diagram to understand what part of the overall topology you need to focus your troubleshooting efforts on. When you open several consoles, you can arrange the windows in a way that will help you in your troubleshooting efforts. The default setting for the console windows is set to Always on Top, but this can be modified to suit your preferences. By right-clicking on the console window, you can modify these settings. In particular, the copy and paste function can be set to your preference through the Change Window option selection. The default setting is the window setting, where the middle button extends and the right button brings up the menu options. But you can change the mouse button options controlling copy and paste to the compromise setting, where the right button pastes and the middle button extends, or the extreme setting, where the middle button pastes and the right button extends. Knowing how to set and use these options to meet your needs will help you save time during the lab exam. One thing to keep in mind is that by using the Windows Notepad editor provided, you can type commands and then copy them. Then, with the mouse button copy and paste function set to the default window setting, by using the right mouse button, you can select Paste and paste those commands that you copied from the notepad to multiple devices. The Help tab on the main toolbar provides links to other resources that may assist you. These resources include several things, such as an overview of the user interface, information on the device consoles, an online calculator for making computations and binary and hex conversions, and links to Cisco Online documentation. Only approved portions of the documentation section will be accessible during the exam. In the upper left of the window, there are navigation buttons to move backward and forward in the documentation browser. Again, only approved portions of the documentation section will be accessible during the exam. Candidates with specific vision requirements can also use the Help tab to increase the font size in the CCIE lab delivery system. When you have completed the troubleshooting section of the lab exam, click the End Section button and confirm this action. Remember that you will not be allowed to navigate back to troubleshooting once you have moved on. If you are not finished at the end of 2 hours, the troubleshooting section will automatically end and the start page for the next section will be displayed. The second section of the CCIE Routing and Switching Lab exam is Configuration. Again, make sure that the information displayed pertains to you and not another candidate. When you're ready to begin the configuration section, click the Start Lab button on the top toolbar. As in the previous troubleshooting section, there is a main toolbar at the top of the web page. Here you have access to information similar to the troubleshooting section. The content presented here is from a training lab, not from an actual CCIE Routing and Switching Lab exam, although the user interface is similar. From the Questions and Diagrams tab, you can see a list of the tasks in the configuration section. Also available in the Questions and Diagrams tab are the diagrams associated with the questions. Although not displayed here, in the configuration section of the actual CCIE Routing and Switching Lab exam, there is an All Questions tab providing access to all the questions in the configuration section in a single window. Also not displayed here but present in the actual configuration section is a Configuration Guidelines tab that provides necessary information and guidelines about the configuration section. It has the same look and feel and function as the Troubleshooting Guidelines tab in the Troubleshooting section. The Help tab again is a drop-down menu that provides user interface and console information, an online calculator, the Cisco documentation browser, and the ability to adjust text sizes. The clickable topology map allows you to connect to the consoles of the devices. Once you are connected to a console, you can interact with the device to assess the state of the device and configure it as necessary to address the tasks in the configuration section. As in the previous troubleshooting section, you can open multiple consoles to multiple devices by clicking the desired device on the topology map. You may also connect to the COM server and manage all your devices from within a single terminal window. You can also copy and paste between the consoles of the devices. In this example, the content to copy is selected using the left mouse button, and then pasting it on another device by using the right mouse button and selecting Paste. Again, knowing how to set and use these options to meet your needs will help you save time during the lab exam. Once you have completed this section, or the allotted time for the exam has expired, click the End Session button and confirm this action. This concludes this brief demonstration of the user interface for the CCIE Routing and Switching Lab exam. Thank you.